This demonstration going to show use restriction can define a class, and the class definition can be used to classify new instances into the class. So because we're using OWL now, our default rule sets, I changed to OWL host.rules. And my example is taken from the book on page 226, the answers question example. So here, our data, the graph that I'm creating, I basically copied the triples from the book. This includes a definition, a restriction. So here we define anonymous class. And this anonymous class is a type restriction. So we restricted this class to have property, and this property has selected options. And the selected option has to be answer. So it has some value from answer. This basically saying that this restriction defines a class that is actually an answered question because this question has selected option, and that selected option is actually an answer. So we defined this anonymous class, and we can further say that this anonymous class is an equivalent class of answered question. Basically, we're saying that we want to define answered questions as such. So answered questions or answered question must have at least one selected option, and that option has to come from answer. Okay, so now we have one instance question, and this is a word problem question, and this question has selected option, and the user selected this option, and this is also defined as an answer. So when you look at this, use your human intelligence, you can tell right away that what problem is an answered question. It is a question that has been answered by a user because the user has selected option for this question. So now this is what we have in the data. We want to run this example and see if the inference engine can classify this what problem into this class. We can tell that what problem is an answered question, that can the machine. Okay, so let's first create this graph, and then we can construct another query. So I copied all the prefixes that we need to use, and now I'm asking a question, what's the type of what problem question? If we run that, we're going to have good answers returned. We have I ran this query twice, so you see two blank or blank notes. Those are the things that we produced here. So even though this class is defined as equivalent of this class, this anonymous node still have a unique ID, identify it. So our what problem is not only a type of answered question, it is also a type of this anonymous class. So this is why when we run this query, we have both blank notes and the answered questions being returned as the class for the what problem question. You do actually have to read through the book to know what this survey question thing is, to understand that what problem is actually one specific survey question that we ask the users, and they can provide an answer, and then the computer can conclude that now what problem is actually an answered question.